Hello, welcome to the video. Welcome to my channel, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about my experience having a job by working at TJ Maxx. Well, I worked at this TJ Maxx store in Longview, Texas from 2007 to 2011. And the people who I worked with were mostly women. Excuse me. That's right, mostly women. And some were nice, some were a pain in the ass, and some were annoying. There was this girl, and her name was Renee, and Renee was annoying, and well, she was happy all the time, and her eyes were just bulging out, and she acted like she was like sky high on crack cocaine, like she was high on crack, and she was all happy and hyper all the time, and this is how she acted. Boy, I love this. I love doing this. I love this. I love this. Martha's. And she was this they had her as this key carrier, and she carries keys, like she had this chain of keys around her neck, and when she walked, you heard the sound of the keys like clanging and making noise, and I worked there as a janitor. I clean up the store before it opens, and when Renee walked down the hall where this maintenance closet was, where I was like changing mop water and wringing out the mop and changing the head on a dust mop. I could hear I could hear the sound of those keys clanging as she walked. And and plus well, she was known for like going behind people's backs and and telling someone what they did, going behind their backs and telling the boss like what someone did, what someone said. And there was some lot of like girls who were like her who did that. And Renee, when I first met her, she was single. Then she married some guy who was a security guard at some place. And also she was taking birth control pills. Yeah. And I remember I made fun of her, and like she went behind my back and asked people this, do I act like that? Yeah, the impression I just did of her. And I did it in front of everybody, including her, and she went and asked, and she asked people this, like, after I made fun of her, she said how she acted. She asked everybody this, do I act like that? And everybody said, yeah, you do. And I remember I made fun of her, like, in front of everybody, I told, hey, I'm gonna do an impression of Renee giving birth at the hospital. Everybody turned. She turned around, didn't want to see me make fun of her, and this is how I did this. My belly's Come on, Renee. Push. Push. Give me a grandbaby. Yeah, and I was doing this, like, everybody just started laughing. Like, it was just hilarious. Yeah, I used to make, sometimes I made fun of her, and she just get mad about it. It was hilarious. Well, I was doing all this in the last some years of me working at TJ Maxx in Longview, Texas. Yeah, Renee was very, very nosy. I mean, she was really, really nosy. And she will know about me, my dad, and what I and all about me. She was just a nosy, nosy person, and she was. Yeah. Also, I had a crush on a girl named Lauren who worked at the jewelry counter, a place that people go and buy jewelry. Men's jewelry, women's jewelry, like watches, rings, stuff like that. Yeah, I think in a previous video I told you guys that I asked her to be my girlfriend and she turned me down. Told me she wanted to stay single. Yeah, I apologized to her for asking her to be in a relationship with me, and she scolded me and told me that we're friends and nothing more. So yeah. Also, there was this girl named Elissa. Elissa was this skinny girl, really skinny. Um, she had a boyfriend, and and yeah, she was rock hard conservative. And I was talking to her, and for some reason she didn't she was uncomfortable with me having a crush on Lauren. And it's because of this. Lauren is white and I'm black, and Elissa is white, by the way. And it's like, no, she was like, I can tell her body language and how she was talking. Like, it's like she didn't want me to. She find me, a black guy, hitting on some girl from her race, to be not good. So there's some racism behind that. I don't know. I never liked her, and she was like full of crap. And I think she viewed all like black men as idiots, black people as idiots. She was one of those white people who think all black people are stupid and bunch of thieves, rapists, whatever. I don't, yeah. Also, I remember after I cleaned the store and I did some little minor work around the store. I mean, when the store opened, I mean, the customers who shopped there were mostly women. Like young women, old women, middle-aged women, and this was crazy. Like, like nearly like all the women who shopped there, the female customers, um, they all wore blue jeans. All of them. They wore jeans. I mean, some wore dresses. I mean, few, but mostly of them wore jeans. And it was kind of funny. Like some of them, look good in a pair of jeans. They wore, some of them who wore jeans, and the jeans that they wore made their butts look good. And I asked this woman who came in, who wore a pair of blue jeans, and I said, "Hey, I like your jeans. They look nice." And She said, "Oh, thank you. They're very comfortable." So yeah, you know, I did this a lot. Some of the women scold me, and then they went and reported everything I said to them to the boss. To my boss, who was a woman. You know, some of the women were okay. Some of them not. Some pretended like what I said was nice, but they just did that just to go behind my back and report me because they feel that what I said was bad. So yeah, uh, so yeah, so like and nearly the women who I came up to and asked, talked to, were white, all of them. Um, there were some black women like here and there, did that with one black woman, and she didn't care at all. And one that came in, what was a police officer. Um, like some of the women who shopped there, like some of them were happy, some of them were miserable. Some of them didn't want to talk to me, didn't want to have anything to do with me. Some acted weird around me due to race, being racist. And there was this guy who was the store security. He was a black guy. Um, his name is Doug, and he was store security, and he came in and told me what I gotta be careful what I say around these women. He said some of the women are cool. So Renee and all those other women are cool, but most of them are assholes. That's what he told me. This okay, oh yeah, okay. There was this woman who I worked with. Her name was Abby, and Abby was from Southern California. She was kind of fat and chunky a little bit. She had blue eyes. She had a big long nose. She had blue eyes. She had really long red hair that hung down to her ass. And she was a chatterbox. She run her mouth all the time. She complained and she talked to everybody like an authority figure. She was basically a woman who worked in a cash office that give people their paychecks. And she smoked. And I remember one day I tried to clock in on the time clock, which was a computer inside the break room, and she was in there with me. I had trouble clocking in. She walked up to me and helped me out. And when she stood next to me, I smelled her. She had this rancid, horrible odor on her. She smelled really bad, really, really bad. I didn't say anything about her body odor and all. I just didn't say anything. I just say anything and just like let her help me and and talk to her about like I had trouble like clocking in on the time clock on the computer. Yeah, yeah, she was pretty cool and all, and and I noticed this when I was in the break room one day when her and Renee were in the break room together. They were facing the wall. They were like sticking some on the wall or something. They would turn the other way. I mean, I can see their booties, their butts. I noticed that Abby's butt was way like bigger than Renee's. And her and Renee, they had good butts. And they did. I was looking. I didn't say anything. Then after that, like, I was in the break room taking a break from cleaning the bathrooms. Um, yeah. And I remember there was this old lady. I don't remember what her name is. This woman was this woman was nuts. She was crazy, and she did a horrible job teaching me to unlock a pet, to unlock a no, not a pet, like one of those locks on a locker with the combination wheel on it. Turn to every number to unlock it. And she did a horrible job teaching me this, and I have no idea how to use that at all. I just had a bad teacher, really. And this woman, I couldn't get into a locker, so I didn't have anything to put in a locker anyway. So it was a little small lock. There were little small lockers. And yeah. Even though I worked in a store with a lot of women, there were some guys here and there. There was a gay guy, some straight guys. Some straight guys, and that's about it. The gay guy, his name is Eric. Eric seemed like he didn't like working there. I tried to talk to the guy, have a conversation with the guy. I like the guy. I'm hoping like to spark a friendship with him. Yeah, I kind of did a little bit, but he was kind of annoyed. He didn't care or anything. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. Some of the people there, they just didn't give a shit working there. Working at TJ Maxx. Yeah, I remember this bitter ass, angry ass bitch. Her name was Rebecca. And Rebecca was so bitter. She had an angry look on her face. She wasn't in a good mood. I kind of got a liking in her. I wanted to talk to her. And she didn't want to talk to me. She didn't want to have anything to do with me. I remember I gave her a piece of candy, and she threw it in the trash can. And let's see. And I remember some guy pulled up in the car and asked me when do you know any hours of do you know the hours of the when do you know the hours of the store and when it's going to open. And I struggled on that because I have memory issues and all. And she overtalked me and told this guy about the store hours. Then after that, I didn't want to say thank you to her because she was just bitter and angry and didn't give a damn. And she had a really foul mouth. Like she were cursing one day when I was like, when me and everybody was working in the store, like all the way late into the night, and when everybody got ready to leave, and before we all walked out and the manager closed the store, who was the closing manager. Um, she was saying this to some people. Said, I don't know, I don't give a shit, or something like that. Yeah. Also there was this old gay guy. He was from Shreveport, Louisiana. His name was see what his name was Bruce. His name was Bruce. Old guy. Old gay guy. He was skinny. He talked really fast. I could talk to him a little bit about things, but not a lot. He was hard to talk to because he talked so fast. He was basically a chatterbox. And the store manager, which was a woman, I'll tell you guys what her name is. She always calmed down on people who did their jobs, but she never got on the people who never did anything. And she never did anything to Bruce. Bruce just sat around. He ran his mouth, talked about decorating his home and all a lot of skull, all other types of crap, you know. Well, you know, he was an okay guy, you know. He was all right, you know, and I remember this fat old black guy who I knew. I mean, when I when he who helped me get a job there. His name is let's see, forgot what his name is. He was this old fat black guy, you know, and he had memory issues, you know. Um, he had a fake artificial leg, you know, and he did this. This was really weird. I mean, I, I used to sit in my car, you know, to wait on him to show up, and he drove into the parking lot. He drove like a Ford pickup truck, and this is what he did. He drove past me, then he circled the parking lot, and then he came back and he parked in the parking spot. This was very odd, you know. He did this, you know. Who else? Yeah, I remember he called me and told me that the vice president of the company that runs the TJ Maxx store and every TJ Maxx store in the country said that he told me on the phone that he was gonna come and address all the employees. And he told me I had to come there and listen to him talk. Okay, I get there. I don't see anybody. I mean, the lights were off, and I saw this old guy who was a janitor who shared the same job that I have. I mean, we have different days to work. I walk in. I walk in, and this old guy said this. This old guy who I worked with said this. He said that he said this is so and so told you to come in and said that you want to help me. I said no. What? And he said, yeah, he wants you to come in and help me. Go and clock in. And you know, I wasn't dressed to work. You know, I was wearing blue jeans. I was wearing my street clothes. You know, and they had a dress code where you can't wear blue jeans or you know or hats or shirts with anything printed on them. So I just got out of there, ran out of there, got in my car and went home to change and came back. And the old fat guy who told me about the employees are going to be addressed by this vice president who's going to come in and address the entire just the entire people who worked at the store. Oh my god, like it was a disaster, and he did this a lot to a lot of people, and eventually eventually the store manager fired him, you know, because he was making weird decisions and doing stuff that broke the dress code and all that. And he was replaced by some old white guy from Louisiana. This guy from Louisiana that replaced the old fat black guy with the fake artificial leg. He was bisexual. I remember trying to talk to him, trying to form a friendship with him like I did with the fat old black guy, but you know, he had this strange, like he didn't want to talk to me. I don't know. Dude just didn't want to have anything to do with me, really. I was an idiot. I just kept trying to talk to the guy, talk to the guy. The guy just didn't want to have anything to do with me. He talked to me like every once in a while, but when he's on the job, you know, yeah, you know, when he's not doing anything, yeah, I can talk to him, try to talk to him, but yeah, um, yeah, yeah, and he was the guy along with the store manager that was the orchestrator in having the boss having the store manager firing me back in 2011. Okay, yeah, I got fired because you know the boss, you know, was on me all the time, was rushing me. yeah, I do this really fast, really fast, and I was like breaking stuff and like losing it over this, you know. And I was letting stuff get to me, you know, and tossing boxes all over the place, you know. And it was the store manager, what the store manager was shooting at me that made me do these things, you know. Yeah, and yeah, and all this is over. All this is like blame yourself. Don't blame anybody else. Just blame yourself. You know, which is BS. Yeah, and, yeah, and also I think I said this in the previous video. Um, I had conversations with pregnant women. There was this woman who was a customer, and she was pregnant, and she had a huge belly, you know, and she was pregnant with like triplets. And when I saw her, when she walked past me, she saw me, and my eyes just got huge, like saucers, like got really big. I was like, I got shocked, seeing how big her stomach was. And she saw the shocked look on my face, and she started laughing. And yeah, and I said all this in the previous video. You guys know all about that. Also, there was this woman who didn't work there for very long, and she was pregnant, and I talked to her, and she was okay. You know, she was nice, and I kind of made a joke with her one day, and I told her like, what happened if you were the octo mom and you had a lot of children? And she said, oh, I think me and my husband couldn't handle all of that. And it was kind of funny, you know. And also I worked with this pregnant Mexican woman from California. I think what her name is. Her name is Angie. Angie Angie hated this woman who was the boss. Forgot what the boss's name was. She was a boss who worked in the stock room where everybody process things and bring stuff out to the sales floor to be stocked. And she said that the boss back there, which her name was Amy, and she said that Amy is stupid because Amy was like didn't know what she was doing. She was like constantly telling people what to do, and she was like a housewife, just constantly just telling people what to do, and she was kind of annoying. And she married some guy who wrote a lot of crap all over her Range Rover or some type of car that she drove. And and she married the guy. She got pregnant, so she was walking around pregnant, telling people what to do and all. And I told her that I was saving money for a car, and I told her I was saving money for a brand new car. And she said, "Oh, so congratulations, Rich. I hope you get that car." And I said, "Yeah, yeah, thank you." Um, you know, um, at first, when I started working there, I was kind of quiet. I didn't say anything, and I remember this woman, this woman who was older than me. She liked me. She really, really liked me, and she did. Like, I don't know why she liked me so much. I mean, I guess how I looked. I guess you know. She no longer works there anymore. So yeah. And also there was this woman with red hair. Her name was Krista. And Krista was very nice. She was really, really nice. She was very, very feminine, very sweet, down to earth. She was just this sweet, feminine, down to earth woman. I mean, and I got along with her. Like, I mean, I could talk to her about everything. And she wasn't as crappy and shitty like some of the women there. Like, and she was married, by the way. She told me she was in the Peace Corps. She was in the Peace Corps, and she wore dresses like, and I told her like how crazy it is here in Texas. It's like the Wild Wild West, the OK Corral, And she said like and she told me that everybody was like Wyatt Earp, you know. And I said some things that made her laugh. Like I said something funny, said something about Pee Wee's Playhouse, and she started laughing and walked away. Like, and that's just shocking. Like couldn't make you couldn't make any woman in America. I mean, you can't find a woman in America that's like that. And she was married to some guy. And I'm gonna say this like, who, what, whoever. I mean, the man that's married to her is lucky. And she told me that she had a son, and her son tried to teach her how to ride a skateboard, which was funny. Yeah. Yeah, and also there was this really old woman there. Her name was Nancy. Nancy talked a lot. I mean, she was this really old woman, really really old. And she was from New York, and she was pretty cool. She was talkative, and she's not like the typical New Yorker. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. She still works like yeah. Yeah. I want to talk about this store manager who fired me. I mean, her name is Susan. Susan was this fat old lady with long curly hair, and she wore glasses, and this lady was like full of crap. She talked a lot. She lied. She lies a lot. And she was full of it. She was one of those like loudmouth, like she's one of those loudmouth Texas women who just talked a lot, who was just full of crap. And well, let's see. Yeah, yeah, she was kind of nuts a little bit. And she bullied me and treated me like crap. I mean, I remember the first days I worked there, she never treated me like that. She treated me like that a little bit, and she praised me and talked about how much I do a really good job cleaning up the store, cleaning up the entire store before it opens, and said that I was quiet because, well, I didn't talk to people a lot. I just did my job. Plus, I was shy. And I know that like people in Texas, okay, if you're shy, you don't say much. You're just scared to talk to people. All they can say to you, all they can say about you is, "Oh, you're quiet." That's it. Then you start talking to them, and they start to act weird and strange around you. Just saying. Yeah, Texas people are strange. Yeah. Yeah. Got in trouble with complimenting women who shopped there who wore blue jeans. Who wore jeans. Just telling them how nice these jeans that they were wearing looked. Um, I'll say that to myself. Just saying. But yeah, speaking of that, there was some woman who wore dresses and who wore a dress who shopped at the store. She told me that, oh, yeah, I see all these women who shop here. They come in here. They wear jeans. I hate wearing jeans. I like to wear dresses. Yeah, It's shocking. I mean, you will find people like that here in this country. Um, yeah, yeah. The jeans that the women wore were mainly mom jeans. Mainly Levi's. Saw a woman who wore Tommy Hilfiger jeans. Um, that's and think that's about it. Yeah. That's about yeah. I will say that working at TJ Maxx in Longview, Texas, it had its ups and downs, but overall, it was a horrible place to live, horrible place to work at. They don't pay their employees enough. I remember I worked there. I mean, I worked a lot of days, and they brought in some guy who was very hyper. Some hyper black guy, old black guy with an afro. He was toothless. Um, he did a horrible job teaching me how to do something. They cut my hours, and they gave him more hours, more days to work, and I worked less days, so I made less, and I didn't work there a lot as much. And I remember after I got fired, he got fired for stealing, stealing things. And there was this guy from El Monte, California. His name is Mario. I used to be friends with this guy. I'm not friends with him anymore. And when after he put in his 2 weeks notice to quit, I think I remember on his last day, he saw the guy who I worked with in maintenance stealing. And he said, yeah, I don't even care about that. I'm getting out of there. And I think me and that guy who used to work in maintenance, we worked in the stock room with everybody, and the job that we used to work in maintenance was taken over by some cleaning service, and then they hired some Mexican woman. And and they did this because, well, TJ Maxx don't hire maintenance associates anymore. They don't hire maintenance employees anymore. So yeah, they just have cleaning services and cleaning ladies to cover that job. And Renee talked about, they're gonna put you guys back in maintenance. And I remember the store manager Susan told me that even though I worked in the stock room and stocking and did process associate work, and I really wanted to do that job. I don't want to do maintenance anymore. Um, she told me even though you work there, you still have to be the janitor. And she did this. This was strange. I mean, this was right to work stuff. I mean, I told her, hey, I want to work in the stock room and be a process associate. She said, "Oh, I guess I gotta find another janitor." And she said, "Oh, you clean good bathrooms and all this." Then this was strange. I asked her, "Hey, have you found anybody yet?" Um, she said, "I can't put you back there because there's not enough people back there." I didn't understand what she was saying, so I asked her again. She said this: "I told you there's not enough people back there. I can't put you back there because there's not enough people back there." So yeah, that's just part of right to work there. So yeah, so I just powered through and just did the job. So yeah, lost it and did something in that job where I didn't want to do the job. Acting childish, and I think that's something I shouldn't done at all. But yeah, but she bullied me and treated me like crap because of the greed of the corporation. Yeah, and TJ Maxx is owned by the TJX companies that runs TJ Maxx, Marshalls, AJ Wrights, Home Goods. I think, did I say Marshall? I think I said Marshalls. Yeah, Marshalls. Yeah. Um. Yeah. And she treated me like crap because of greed from these guys. And I remember I saw the vice president of the TGX company, a black guy. His name is Chris Stoker. This bald headed black guy, you know. And in this meeting that he went and talked in front of all the associates in the store, he pulled out the money and showed the money and said something about it. And that told me that it's all about greed, and they don't care about the employees or the customers. All they care about is making money. Yeah, greed and capitalism, you know. And, you know, it just, you know, all this country is about is just greed, money and greed. And he could care less about regular, everyday, normal people. And, you know, I worked at Walmart, and Walmart's the same. The six Aarons of the Walton family, Sam Walton's children, they're just greedy. All they care about is money. They don't care about their employees, and they pay their employees less. They don't care about the poor working conditions. And one employee died, and they dubbed the employee that died as a dead peasant. And so yeah, overall, you know, TJ Maxx in Longview, Texas, the store that I used to work at, has its ups and downs. But you know, overall, you know, it wasn't a really good place to work at all. You know, nearly all the employees were women. Nearly all the customers were women. I mean, there was less men and more women. Lots and lots of women. Old, young, middle aged, you name it. Yeah, I know it's like when I cleaned the women's restroom and I cleaned the men's restroom, I know it's like the men's restroom was a little dirty, but you know, it wasn't as bad. You know, going to the women's restroom, it was worse. I mean, I remember one day, like, it was like paper tap, not paper, there was like toilet paper all over the floor, trash all over the floor, crap in one of the toilets, you know, and the men's restroom had crap in the toilet as well. Yeah, they were both disgusting public restrooms, you know, and the women's restroom was even worse. Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, for those of you who are in Canada, you guys call your restrooms washrooms. So yeah, I just want to like throw that out there. Yeah, yeah, the women's restroom it was really bad. You know, I didn't complain. I just went and just cleaned it up. You know, it was hard to clean up because people kept coming in and wanted to use the bathroom at the step on out and wait till they get done. When they get on out of there, I just go back in and do my job. You know. Yeah, I remember I was cleaning the women's restroom one day when the store was open. A little girl came into the restroom. I didn't pay her any attention. I just went and cleaned the restroom because I was just tired. I mean, I was worked like a dog, you know. When I got finished, I just got on out of there. I just cleaned the sinks and I just got on out of there. And I remember I got in trouble. My boss called me in to her office and told me about the little girl going in and me being in there and all that. Yeah. So yeah, you know, the women's restroom was really difficult to clean because all the women just kept going and coming in there. I remember this guy who had the same job as I did. He complained about it. He said, "Oh, they won't let me clean the restroom. They won't let me finish." He just complained, and my boss said this. Well, if you got, well, they got to go to the bathroom, and they got to go. They got to go. Yeah, and I remember this toothless guy, this toothless bald-headed black guy. I think he was disabled. I worked with him in maintenance. He didn't show up for work. I had to go in and fill in for him. Maybe because he was passed out drunk. Um, he laughed and made jokes and stuff, you know. Um, yeah. He was like the man that sing the Chocolate Rain song on crack. And I remember he came in wearing a cowboy hat and sunglasses and a white shirt and blue jeans and cowboy boots. Um, I just looked at him and I just saw just how ridiculous he looked. Yeah. Um, while I was in the dressing, while I was near the dressing rooms talking to some woman I don't remember. Yeah. So it wasn't a great place to work at all. And working at Walmart wasn't that great anyway. So yeah. And I'm banned from working at the TJ Maxx store in Longview, Texas, because I got fired there. And the woman who fired me there, she won't rehire me because of that. So I had to go and work at another TJ Maxx store. So and there's a TJ Maxx store in a city called Tyler. It's about like 40 something miles away, and that's a long drive. And I live like as far away from this city. And I'm not going to do that at all. So yeah. And the closest TJ Maxx store next to me is the one in Longview that I used to work at, but I can't work there because I got fired there. Plus, I can't work at a grocery chain store called Brookshire's that runs two grocery stores, Brookshire's and Super One Foods. Um, can't work there because I got fired there, and I can't be rehired there again because of that. And it doesn't matter what store I go to, or Brookshire's or Super One Foods anywhere, I won't be hired at all. So yeah, that's all I gotta say in this video. Uh, yeah, boy, this video's long. So I'm gonna wrap it up. So that's all I gotta say in this video. Bye.